Hello everyone, it's Rain again with a little bit of a different video. If y'all are the real ones, you guys know I used to post a lot of bullet journal content both on YouTube and on Instagram, but for the new ones, y'all probably didn't even know I bullet journal. So anyway, here are a bit of specs for my journal. I've used this notebook since 2019. It is a Midori A5 dotted journal that was gifted to me paired with a clear book cover which I got from China. If any of you guys ever went to school in China, you know you can find these clear book covers pretty much anywhere in the street because I guess the Chinese love to keep their books clean. You always see these bullet journal videos with these glorious opening pages with New Year's resolutions and whatever, but you bet I had to open up my journal with Hyunjin from Stray Kids, obviously. So you may have noticed that the cover of my bullet journal says K-pop journal, and this is because I originally wanted to start this notebook as my new K-pop journal after I finished my old one. Let me know if any of you guys want to see my old cringy K-pop and bullet journals. But yeah, that's why the opening spreads are more K-pop oriented, and then I started shifting into other categories. My style of bullet journaling is rather free. I'd say I don't have any specific system. I generally just write what I want and draw what I want wherever I want. See, some people might look down upon that, but to me, I say the world is my oyster. See, if I feel like writing down tasks, I'll write down tasks. If I feel like writing a review of a movie I just watched, I'll just write it wherever I want, and at the end, I slap on some decorations, stickers, and washi tapes and whatever I have in front of me and just hope it looks okay. And even though sometimes it may look like doggy fart, doggy doo-doo, I feel like the vibe of my bullet journal is so undeniably me because it essentially is just brain dump for me. So what comes out on the page is what is going through my mind at the moment. Okay, I'm not sure if anyone here plays Sky. It's a game that was formerly mobile only and now is also on the Nintendo Switch, but I used to be actually obsessed with that game during quarantine, and I feel the need to point out that my cover page for September is actually based off the constellations of each realm in that game. Anyway, just a little nerd moment for me. Speaking of quarantine, this notebook has quite literally lasted me the entirety of high school. While yes, bullet journaling was a thing that was very on and off for me throughout high school, I feel like I still utilized it frequently as a tool for me, and it lasted me quite a long time. 4 years is a pretty long time for the longevity of a notebook. I definitely recommend this notebook a lot. There are a lot of pages, the paper is really smooth and really nice. The only thing I'd say is bad about it overall is the build of it, because the front and back cover are made of paper, so I'm assuming it wouldn't have stood up to wear and tear had I not put a plastic cover over it. You'll probably notice that a lot of the pages in my journal are half blank. See, sometimes I just start projects that I tell myself I'll work on but never end up finishing, and that's okay. There's absolutely no need for you to constantly feel like you have to fill up every single page. There's a lot of pages, I understand. It could be overwhelming, but don't worry about it because it's your notebook. You can do whatever you want with it because sometimes that's just how it be. If your brain's half empty, the page is half empty. That's just how it be. Don't worry about it. Happens to all of us, happens to the best of us. Damn, I sound like such a surfer dude right now. There's one thing that got me through quarantine, it's Unis Honest. I put so many little Unis Honest related snippets into my journal because one, that channel was so funny and brought a little joy into my life every day when I woke up, and two, I absolutely love the message that Mark and Ethan was trying to bring to the world. The idea that life is only so short, so live it to the fullest. It was really what I needed to hear to bring motivation to my days of online school at home, and honestly, I feel like I got so much done during online school. Like I made so much stuff that I always wanted to, simply because I had more time on my hands and I also had the motivation to. But unfortunately, quarantine was also when I first started getting into Valorant and my horrendous addiction started. I kid you not, sometimes I'd wake up extra early before school started so I could get in a game of Valorant or 2 games of Valorant. Like I'd play during class sometimes, between classes, right after school, just whenever I had the chance. Was it good for my health? No. Was it good for my dopamine? Sometimes, but most of the times no. But at least now that quarantine is over, I can look back on my relationship with that game and find some consolation, since every once in a while I would meet a really nice person in my lobby and it would just make my entire day. I still play every once in a while, and I think now that I'm not living, breathing, and literally eating Valorant, I can actually take the time to have fun in it and enjoy it with friends. Funny story, I used to try to make Plan With Me videos every month because all the bullet journals on YouTube I watched were always making those videos. But as I used the bullet journal system more and more, or I guess the default bullet journal system more and more, I realized that the constant monthly layouts just simply wasn't working out for me, because I'd be making these monthly calendars and never flip back on them, so drawing them out became a waste of time for me since I never really even looked back on them, so they were just kind of there. And if you carefully observe, you'll notice that I do them less and less until they eventually disappear from my journal, which all goes to show that bullet journaling doesn't have to be about perfection, but rather finding a system that works for you and helps boost your productivity. Because influencers tend to show these picture-perfect pages that are filled with perfect boxes and doodles, and sure, those may work for some people, but I tried out that style and it didn't work for me, so it might not work for you either. My point is, experiment with your style, find what works best for you, because it's supposed to help you, not harm you, not feel like a chore that you always have to do, but rather something that you look forward to and just helps you keep organized. Look at me. Overall, through the years, my notebook has grown to be such a thick boy. With all the papers I was constantly gluing and taping to it, it got real chunky, and honestly, I kind of love that because I feel like it just shows a bit more personality to my notebook and adds some pizzazz to it. As much as this notebook has served me well, it's time to bear a final goodbye. Since there's only a few blank pages left, it would be a waste of space bringing it to college, and I'm honestly not even sure if I'll be continuing bullet journaling in college, but I'll definitely be adopting a similar system, since I feel like with these 6-7 years of journaling I've done, I've finally found a style that works well for me. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Look at me, I'm as helpless as a kitten.